Welcome to the all-new Sports Visions on Bounce TV and to our worldwide web viewers on www.sportsvisionsusa.com. Hello, everybody. I'm DJ Jones alongside my good friend and traveling partner, Dale Williams. How are you, sir?
What's up, player?
Hey, man, I'm telling you, I'm excited because we have so many local teams that are playing and trying to bring a state championship, basketball championship, that is, back to the area. And we have opportunity to talk about that in just a little bit.
A little bit, you know, DJ, and also the NBA update. Man, how did you like that game, DJ?
Well, you know what? They scored more points. And, again, you know, your boy Anthony Davis, man, he broke the All-Star record. We'll have a chance to chop it up about him as well. And, again, when you were talking about what's going on with the Braves, man, I'm impressed with what I've seen so far.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how they play, DJ, because they got 3 Major League All-Stars on their team right now, and that's enough sometimes just to be good enough to be dangerous.
All right, all that and more coming up next on Sports Visions.
It's time to save during the Nissan Year of the Truck and SUV event at Headquarter Nissan. Now, save $4,500 on new Rogue. Save $10,000 on all remaining 2016 Nissan Titan XDs. And get America's best truck warranty. Take on any job with Nissan trucks and SUVs from Headquarter Nissan.
Yes, Columbus is a Nissan town. Now it's going to be a Titan town. $10,000 off 2016 Titans.
Welcome back to Sports Visions, Dale. The NBA All-Star festivities are over, and I know that a much-needed break for the NBA players, coaches, and staff, brought about, definitely looking forward to the second half of the season.
It's got everybody looking forward to the second half, DJ. I think really, you know, you get a score of 192 to 182. And congratulations to the West team, but, you know, playing defense, like you said, it was a Harlem Globetrotter game. It's like an exhibition. I think really forwards all the players that played, the new future stars, having a chance to, to shine a little bit. I think really that was good. I wasn't really impressed too much, DJ, with the slam dunk contest at all, even though Glenn Robinson III, Lil Big Dog, won with a nice dunk, but at the same time, I mean, last year was so outstanding, DJ. It would have been hard to beat that anyway. You know, your three-point shooters, you got new people doing that. You know, Ed Gordon, he wins. But I think really one of the biggest things is that really just the fan and the crowd participation that they have at the All-Star game that makes it that much more exciting.
Absolutely. And, again, more than anything, I think that, these players that are playing realizes that, hey, look, they need some rest. And, again, playing defense is out of the question. Hey, Ole, again, it's an exhibition, which is fun. And, you know what? I don't know how much longer that they will have an opportunity to do that, but I know that $50,000 that the winning team got from the West and that $25,000 that the losing team got from the East, that's some chump change money to throw around and play cards. So let's do some things, pick up some little scraps around the regular chores that they have.
I know, really, DJ. You know, when you start talking about the money in sports, we always go back for football, baseball, basketball. Where does all this money come from? And really, everybody's trying to beat the trade deadline. Everybody's talking about salary caps. Right now, it's a lot of teams looking for players, DJ, but they just can't fit people under the salary cap. And, when you start talking about, you're talking about King James, $34 million a year, DJ.
31, yeah.
Oh, excuse me, $31 million a year. And, that doesn't even include endorsement. So we got to do our research again on who is the highest paid athlete in sports.
Yeah, but you know what? It's no secret anymore. Obviously, these networks are giving these billion-dollar contracts to these leagues. That's where all the money is coming from. The networks. I mean, you look at ESPN every other day, every other channel. You got a game on, and then that goes in with the regular TBS and CBS and NBC. And oh man, come on, it's a bidding war out there. Which again, it's a great time to be an owner in Major League Baseball. The NFL, NBA, and of course soccer is coming on in big numbers. And the hockey has a hell of a television contracts.
Well, DJ, you just said something. I read an article on this on ESPN. They basically bid the highest on most of the things to get the rights to these big-time games. But guess what, DJ? Most people, the subscribers, they're not subscribing to ESPN anymore. So guess what? ESPN is losing money. Can you believe that?
Well, again, there's a lot of money out there, Dale, and you know what? It'll be a long time before I think that ESPN could ever become bankrupt because not spending with them.
I don't think they'll be bankrupt at all, DJ, but they're losing dollars,
Yeah,
because they outbidded
Right.
themselves in certain areas in certain games, and that's why, we were wondering the other years about CBS with March Madness, and they paid $1 billion just to have the rights to that. When you start trying to keep up with those games, that can catch up with you because really a lot of people are not going to the cable system anymore. They're going to Netflix. They're going to Hulu. They're actually watching TV on their phones.
Well, again, I'm a sports guy, and most of the people that are my age or that I hang out with, we ain't gonna watch no doggone television, no sports event on no phone. We're gonna sit around and we're gonna get together and we're gonna be either at our houses or go to a sports bar. And again, like I said, I know a lot of guys, and you and I both are in the demographics that these folks want. And but again, let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about the biggest thing going on right now as far as the NBA. And I know they're going to start back the second half. Well, last week they were talking about Dolan and Oakley, the situation in Madison Square Gardens. And again, a lot of folks were talking about, of course, with Phil Jackson and Carmelo Anthony, the little feud that they had going on. But the biggest thing right now is going on is that Magic Johnson has been hired by Jeannie Buss with the Los Angeles Lakers as the president of basketball operations, knocking out Mitch Kupchak, the general manager, and her brother, who was the vice president of basketball operations, Jim Buss.
I mean, really, DJ, when you start talking about firing Mitch Kupchak, that's really big. And for Magic to come back and do that, Jeannie Buss and everybody saying, Stephen A. Smith been saying for years that Jeannie Buss runs the team, not her brother. And I think really she has really just shown how strong she really is right now and got Magic back. I'm wondering, where does Phil Jackson fit in this place? Yeah, he's in New York, but they're trying to run him out of New York, DJ. So really, the Lakers are getting back on track. And I think really a couple of free agents here, DJ, and there, and putting together a team, players wanting to go play since Magic's back in the fold, the Lakers going to come up real fast.
And, it's not just the fact that Magic Johnson's the great basketball player. Magic Johnson, from everything that I've read and seen over the last few years, all his business interests are very successful, from Starbucks to some restaurants that he owns. He has hired a team, and he has understood, and I saw an interview where he says, as a CEO, he has learned how to be patient and how to delegate. So, yeah, Magic is the big name, but I'm sure as the president of operations, he's going to bring in some scouts and some personnel people. He's going to bring in some people that are experts on those caps and those contracts, and he's just going to be the big guy, to when they need him and when they call on him, he's going to be the guy in charge. I don't think he's going to be the ones getting his hands dirty. He's just going to surround himself with a good team, and then that's when you'll see the Lakers start making moves.
Well, DJ, it makes me proud to even see him as a businessman. He was a good player, but now he's become a businessman. I'm talking about a serious businessman that is respected all around the NBA and all around the world. Anything he touched basically turns to gold. But I think him being back in the fold with the Lakers and doing the things that he's going to be able to do, I don't even know if he's on the ownership piece or not, but at the same time, he's a Lakers through and through, and he wants to see the Lakers do well. So I think really that's the best move Jeannie Buss could have ever made to get the Lakers back in track.
I don't think that the ownership part of it is going to be actually legal, since he is a part owner of the Dodgers, and I don't think that you can own multiple teams. However, before we get out of here, let's talk quickly about what the Hawks got to do. The Hawks know they're getting back, got much needed rest. Millsaps was the only All-Star for the Atlanta Hawks. However, Coach Bud, I got to know that he has a strategy coming down the backstretch because, the Washington Wizards are the hottest team in the East right now, and that's a nemesis for the Hawks.
That's right, Will. I think the Hawks are 5 games behind the Wizards in their division, but at the same time, DJ, I think they gotta find a player before the trade deadline. Hopefully, they'll get that player to come in and bring some spark. I know Millsap has done everything he's possibly could do. I think Schroeder's done everything he can do, but they're missing a missing link there. They're going to have to turn up on defense. They're going to have to play better defense because they're not scoring the points that they're used to, and they still don't have a three-point shooter. So it's going to be interesting in the second half.
All right, coming up in just a little bit, our popular segment, Where Are They Now?
I'm back, swimming at the gym every week. Last month, I started playing tennis again. And 4 months ago, I went hiking for the first time. I struggled with knee pain for years. Just walking upstairs was difficult. But the St. Francis Orthopedic Institute was there, from surgery through physical therapy, helping me get back to doing the things I love. Thanks, St. Francis. I'm back in motion again.
Hi, I'm Grace Carswell. I almost lost my life in a car accident due to someone else's negligence. Forrest B. Johnson and Associates held the insurance companies accountable and worked tirelessly on my behalf to make sure I got the compensation I deserved. You can trust Forrest B. Johnson and Associates. Results you can bank on.
Call Forrest B. Johnson and Associates right now. 706-223-5380.
And welcome back to Sports Visions. Now we are at the segment of our show where we are calling the Where Are They Now? And this week's guest is Reverend Johnny Flakes Jr. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Dale. Appreciate it, man.
Well, you know, I've been putting fillers out, and me and DJ have been putting fillers out on top players, legendary players in this areas that we grew up around, and your name comes right up to the list. We've had Rudy Allen, we've had Coach Davis, and this week we got you, the legendary Johnny Flakes Jr., the scat back out of Columbus High School.
Well, thank you, man.
You know, a lot of people don't know a lot of stuff about you, and we're going to give you the opportunity to let them know that you were a football player, a scholar, and now you're still a scholar in the biblical sense. But let people know when you went to high school, where you went to high school.
Well, let me say thank you to you, and let me say thank you to DJ and Sports Vision for granting the opportunity to come and to share. But I actually started out at Columbus High School and started my football career actually there, if you will. My football journey started out as a freshman and played freshman ball with a Puerto Rican guy by the name of Papo Preston.
Oh,
and we played, and the late Coach Oswald was the freshman coach. And we had a great freshman year, and I was moved up to varsity my sophomore year. And in my sophomore year, I wasn't the starting running back, but was definitely making the team and going to the games. And my sophomore year, I was given the opportunity to play against Carver High School, a school that I really wanted to play for in terms of the powder blue. But that's another story at another time. But I remember that I had about 177 yards in a couple of quarters, and the coach told me to sit down.
Okay.
So I caught the eye of a coach over on Carver's side. He was an assistant coach at that time, the late Leon Crenshaw, that played for the Green Bay Packers.
That's right.
And he had followed my high school career. When I became a junior, of course, I became a starter. The starting left halfback for Columbus High School. It was Bobby Bynum, that I think was probably one of the best backs to ever come through Columbus High School.
Very good.
And fullback by the name of Carlton Gardner. We called him Bull. And then Steve Hale was the quarterback, and we had a tremendous offensive lineman there, and then had a great wide receiver in Joe Jones. And so we had a real tight team. And so through my junior and senior year at Columbus High School, I probably averaged maybe about 8 yards per carry. And was selected all by city first team. I challenge some of the young guys today that if they're able to make all by city first team, not second, not third, not honorable mention, then I'll welcome them to the ring, okay? And so I was very blessed to have the opportunity.
All right, hold on. We got more coming on Sports Vision. We will be right back to finish up this interview, and we want you to talk about what you're doing now. So hold tight. Don't leave us. We'll be right back.
Hey, Steve, check out this guy's leg.
Yeah, looks like a real nasty moving back in with his parents.
What? No, I just broke my leg.
No, this is a full-blown move into the basement. You're going to be out of work. Without that money from Aflac, You might miss your rent.
Oh, I just moved out.
Bummer, man. Hey, I used to have my own place.
Yeah?
Nah, I live with my mom. But it's cool.
Health can change, but the life you love doesn't have to. Keep your lifestyle healthy with Aflac.
Live in the spotlight with Sports Life Entertainment. Enjoy our 25-passenger luxury party buses or corporate coaches. For more information, contact us at 770-989-1340. And remember, it's all about that sports life.
Today, my dad walked me down the aisle. It seems like yesterday when he taught me how to drive. And just a few years later, he took me to college. But I remember the day my dad had a heart attack. And that almost changed everything. He needed open heart surgery. Lucky for us, we had the amazing doctors at the St. Francis Heart Hospital on our side. Because of their excellent care, he's here with me today. Thank you, St. Francis.
Welcome back to Sports Vision, and we're going to continue doing our interview with Reverend Johnny Frakes Jr. about his luxurious career in not the NBA, but in college football, and we left off at Tuskegee.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you now to let everybody know how you made the transition from Tuskegee to what you're actually doing now. Mm-hmm. Let them know what you're doing now and all the things you learned in football, how it helps you out now.
All right. Well, football is actually, I believe, what Coach Sism used to teach us. It's to teach you how to deal with life after you get off the football field. And life is basically choices and decisions that you make on the football field, but it can also transition to life. But after Tuskegee, I actually got looked at by an NFL football team.
Oh.
I didn't get drafted, all right, but I got looked at. We're actually two, and one was they were the Baltimore Colts at the time. They're the Indianapolis Colts now,
right.
And by the Atlanta Falcons. But they wanted me to come in as a walk-on. They wanted me to come in, to try out. But I had a professor who actually was a PhD physical therapist. And there was a joint program between University of Alabama and Tuskegee. And he asked if I wanted to work on my master's. I was a political science major, was going to law school. And he needed 5 students who had pretty good grades, and I maintained some pretty good grades. And he said, well, if you can get your master's free, would you consider this joint program between the University of Alabama and Tuskegee? And it was in counseling. And I really didn't have any real desire, but then after I decided I would not go and walk on and possibly get injured, possibly by trying out for the Baltimore Colts, the Atlanta Falcons, I decided to go to graduate school. And so my first year was spent at University of Alabama. Then if you finished that part of the program, then you had an opportunity to go on to finish your master's at either Long Island University, South Alabama, or the University of Iowa. And so I went to the University of Iowa and finished my master's because that's where my professor finished his PhD. And so became a graduate assistant at the University of Iowa. And then after that, did a long stint in terms of counseling with a company out of Irvine, California, residing in Atlanta. And then was basically dealing with the ministry. I didn't want to be a pastor. I definitely didn't want to be a preacher. So ran for a while and ended up in Tampa, Florida. And that's where I received my call. And so I was told that if you're going to be called, you need preparation. Returned back to Atlanta, went to the Morehouse School of Religion, ITC, and finished my MD of there, my Master's of Divinity. And then after that, I went on to get a doctorate from Mercer University, McAfee School of Theology. I finished that in 2015. And I'm the proud pastor of the 4th Street Missionary Baptist Church, where my father pastored for 50 years. And the mantle was passed, and so I'm thankful and humbled to have been given that privilege and opportunity to be a pastor of that church.
Well, I had the great opportunity of talking to your dad before I was making a transition when I was at the Chamber of Commerce, and I used to go see him quite often for some advice. And he told me one thing, and he would say things, and it wouldn't say much, but whatever you saw, you kind of thought about it. And he told me to write the vision down make it plain, and for those who read it and run with it. And I still live by that today.
Bless you.
And speaking of vision, what is your vision for 4th Street? What is the vision for the student athletes in this area and just coming up, the kids that are coming up now? What's actually your vision?
Well, our vision at 4th Street has been one that's been crafted, and that is to become a caring, sharing, fruit-bearing fellowship. That has been a long-term, vision. But most importantly, I think the vision also is to make a difference in the lives of people, equipping them to be disciples, not just be church members, but we're basically dealing with something that's called moving from membership to discipleship. And that's something that our desire is, that we become the witnesses for the one that we declare who's Lord of our lives. And that is what our continued preaching and teaching and any of our ministries embodies and also teach. As far as the vision for these young athletes who are tremendously talented and gifted, have so many opportunities that we probably never had exposed to us. There were those opportunities, but these athletes, student athletes I like to call them, have so much available to them. And our prayer is that, one, that they will take advantage of every opportunity that's given to them. Number two, that they will take the lessons that football teaches, and that is the accountability, the discipline, to take the opportunity to really learn the teamwork that's needed, that can be transferred from football to real life in terms of working with so many different personalities, but also following instruction, is being able to follow instruction. And I believe that if they can take those particular skill sets or those particular abilities and capabilities and transfer those to life, then they can be very successful. But also is having them know that they can do nothing without Christ, and that they can do all things with him, and not be ashamed to acknowledge who they believe in. And I want to challenge coaches, because this is a part of the vision, in order to be able to instill that into their lives, these core values into their lives. I remember my dad telling me that if you're going to go and you're going to play football and you can go to practice, you have to go to youth meeting, where those values were instilled. You have to go to worship. You have to go to church. You have to go to Bible study, so that we had a solid foundation, so that when the storms of life would come, then I understood that, if I didn't play pro football, that there was something greater in me as well, and that was academics, and that I can go and I can basically take advantage of the opportunities that was given me there. So I'm hoping that coaches would really look at, my dad would not allow me to go and practice on Sundays. He wouldn't let me play ball on Sundays.
Okay.
And I just pray that coaches would really evaluate that, because we have so many kids that need a solid direction spiritually. They're great athletes, but hopefully that they can begin to look at, if they're going to practice on Sunday, let it be after worship, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock,
Hey, well, there you have it, the legendary Reverend Johnny Flakes Jr., and we'll be right back. This is Sports Visions.
Dedicado al chofer designado, sigue reinando.
Hey, Steve, check out this guy's leg.
Yeah, looks like a real nasty moving back in with his parents.
What? No, I just broke my leg.
No, this is a full-blown move into the basement. You're gonna be out of work. Without that money from Aflac, you might miss your rent.
Oh, I just moved out.
Bummer, man. Hey, I used to have my own place.
Yeah?
Nah, I live with my mom. But it's cool.
Health can change, but the life you love doesn't have to. Keep your lifestyle healthy with
Aflac.
Live in the spotlight with Sports Life Entertainment. Enjoy our 25-passenger luxury party buses or corporate coaches. For more information, contact us at 770-989-1340. And remember, it's all about that sports life.
And welcome back to today's final segment of Sports Vision. Dale, it's always a pleasure to do the Where Are They Nows, to bring all the folks up to date on folks that they might have known from recent, but didn't know they had the athletic background and the success from back in the day.
Yeah, you know, it's great. That segment is great, DJ, because everybody didn't. Like, they always come on board saying, "I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I didn't know that about you. I didn't know when you did that." So that's been very interesting, and continue to watch, viewers.
Absolutely, and again, we know first and foremost, we want to definitely congratulate all the great teams that have been, to the second round of the state playoffs and have made it to the third round, Dale. Because again, when we talk about on the Alabama side, you have the Central Red Devils boys and girls have an opportunity to compete and have that quest for a state championship. And then on this side of it, Carver's boys and girls, Columbus High's girls, and again throughout the region, Marion County's boys, LaGrange's boys, Callaway's boys. Man, we just got a plethora of teams that have a chance to bring a championship back.
I mean, really, DJ, again, we got ballers around here, and the girls are doing just as well. To have all these teams, I think it was 9 on the Alabama side and 7 on the Georgia side that were still playing while we were actually taping this show. So really, that's just good, man. That's great, and really, we need to see most of these girls to make sure they come for our Female Athlete of the Year program.
And again, speaking on that, comes Thursday, April the 20th, we are having our Columbus Valley Area Female Athlete of the Year Awards Luncheon. And again, we started our inaugural last year. This is our second annual, and we're so excited about it, and we want to get you involved any way we can. Again, we're on the streets with these sponsorship packages, and you know what? If you hear us or if you see this show, you want to get involved, we hadn't gotten to you yet, feel free to call us. You can reach me at 706-681-1136 or Dale Williams at 706-681-5192.
Hey, it's going to be big, DJ, and I look forward to it. But really, before we leave, DJ, we got to talk about the Braves, man.
We got to. Of course, we got the great SunTrust Stadium that's up right now, and it's up on the north side of town. So all those folks that were familiar with going to the TED over right off of at the junction of 75 and 85 downtown Atlanta, no more. That's Georgia State's football stadium.
Hey, man, that's big right there. I mean, but really, that's SunTrust Stadium, Cumberland. Ladies, if you think you're going to Cumberland and just do some shopping, you better go real early, because the crowd and the traffic is going to be great, and it's going to be big. The development that they have around that SunTrust Park is big. Can't wait to get inside there.
All right, that's going to do it for all the sports we have for today's show. For Dale Williams, I'm DJ Jones, reminding you to keep your eye on the ball. Have a great day.
Matthew 6:33, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you.